like I said earlier, you don't want that to end because it's such a cool feeling with all those guys that you put in so much work with.
It's better than last year's against Oklahoma State.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
Coach talked about Jason standing up and talking to you guys a little bit post game. What was his message to you guys?
He just thanked us, because he wasn't sure if he wanted to come back at the end of last year and to come back and to really be a leader and with a lot of uncertainty with Jalen to step in, play the way he has, especially and to help go win us this game. It meant a lot to him and it means a lot to us.
You're obviously a guy that's using your extra COVID year. How pleased are you with that decision?
Oh my gosh, it was a no-brainer, just seeing the trajectory of this team. I wouldn't have wanted to miss it for anything. So to really see that paying off, it was a no-brainer for me.
You've obviously been around for a long time too, right? Mm-hmm. Seeing the up and down and all that. Speak to the trajectory and the way things have gone for you guys. We're now it's consecutive years of bowl eligibility, won over a top 10 team. How have you seen kind of the program grow?
Yeah, there were a lot of dark days. There was a lot of uncertainty, and to see how much we've grown, and how much we've exceeded expectations every single year. I mean, even at the beginning of this year, with the trajectory we had after last year, people were still doubting us, and so we never stopped believing in ourselves. And even when we're down 2 minutes left, no timeouts, we never stopped believing.
How resilient is Jason?
Might as well be his middle name. Jason. He's such a great leader. He's I know that he's his worst critic, and so he gets a little upset after making mistakes. But once he gets his head back on, he's an elite leader and the guy you want.
I'm sure this is not the first thing on your mind right now, but how much does the confidence from this win help you guys going forward, especially because last year you kind of skidded at this time of the year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach Leipold, always does a good job of, kind of grounding the situation. We can't be too high, can't be too low, no matter what. And, we obviously got to own the film because there was a lot of mistakes we made today. This wasn't the cleanest win. I'll just say that simply. And I think that was pretty well apparent out there. So, getting ready for next week, we got to get back and own what's on film.
I think there's a photo of Coach Leipold celebrating the Oklahoma State game last year in the hallway here. What was he like?
I think we got in before Coach Leipold was able to really get in the thick of it. So, everyone was bunched up, dancing, singing, all that stuff. So, but people were like, Coach Leipold, you got to dance, and he didn't do it, but he was, he obviously told us how proud of us he was.
When you beat a top 10 team, how can he not dance?
Like I said, we had this just gigantic circle of, just a bunch of, like a wall of humanity just over here, just dancing, going crazy. I think it was probably a business decision to not get, in the thick of it.
What do you think of Jason asking to talk to the team after the game?
I mean, it's just a credit to how great of a guy he is, how great of a leader, There were a lot of days, I talked about, the uncertainty sometimes, and there's definitely been a lot of uncertainty for him, deciding to come back, and, just so proud of him, the way he responds to all these situations, he's just, a great guy and a great leader.
Has he done something like that before after a game? So, I mean, were you surprised at all, or did you think maybe in the moment that made a lot of sense?
I think last year I wouldn't have expected it, but to see, how much Jason has grown as a leader and, how thankful he is, how humble he is, it's not surprising this year to see that.
Does it kind of feel pretty cool? I mean, you guys lost 18 straight times to OU. They headed to the SEC. Does it feel even better because you're leaving them with an L as they leave?
Yeah, absolutely, because, there's probably going to be a long, long time before OU plays KU again to get that last one, especially for me, losing them 4 times and getting that last one, it does feel pretty sweet.
In the locker room, was there any talk about wanting to play them in a couple of years again?
No, I think everyone was pretty caught up in the moment. So yeah everyone was pretty excited about right now.